now we have parents with infants handing them a device while the parent is doing whatever he or she wants to do.
Child disrupted, trying to look from a bird's eye view, kind of like a professional standpoint of like what they see in this generation.
I grew up in the time period before internet. I remember when we used to have conversations about things, and like we used to have badinage, banter and stuff like that just to prove a point. Now, like, I know conversations end in like 2 seconds. If you try to dispute something, you're like, oh, let me Google. And, you know, conversations are over. So I can see the transition from having social interaction, building bonds, to kids just really be on their phone and that's it.
Yeah.
And like, it's talking about children, but I see the impact of adults as well. Like, a lot of us are on our phone, we're isolating from our friends, children, so it's not just impacting kids as well. And the addiction that we get with the social media, for example, like, that dopamine hit every time we post something. It's like, you know, like we're setting up this false reality to present this kind of image. And I think if we're having difficulty imagining children when they grow up, and the film makes me question, like, what's the end result? Because we're just seeing it in its infancy, in a certain stance.
Yeah.
So, like, I'd love to see what would happen and also what we would put in place. It's just like when cigarettes just came out and it was the cool new thing, everybody was smoking inside, and it was just like years down the road after so many policies have been changed and realized, like, oh, this can kill people, this is cancerous, so we need to put policies in place and stop it. So I feel like, I don't know if there's...
We're going to know in the future what it's going to help. So it's like, it's the analogy is not, I don't think the analogy is cigarettes. I think the analogy is the printing press. Oh no, it's the end of the world. The analogy is novels. It's, oh no, it's the end of the world. Then radio, then television, then movies, then whatever. And all of a sudden every professional in that era said that, playing the devil's advocate for this movie, is that said that, okay, this is the end, where the next generation is doomed. Yeah. And this is just another example. Of course, this is a huge leap in the evolution standpoint. Yeah. So we don't know, right? But this is what their expert opinion is, that this generation's in kind of a little bit of trouble, and maybe we are too with our dependence on cell phones. I think that's a thesis statement.
I just thought the stats were really convicting as a parent. I also like the way they zoomed in on the kids' eyes and showed the effect on the sensory things going on with the kids. I thought that was well done artistically, because it was like, oh, get that screen away from the kid. You know, it just made me think as a parent that we need to really step it up.
Whole families are coming home at night and kids are disappearing into their rooms with their devices.
I think it was incredibly powerful, the contrast between the two documentaries. One of impoverishment, yet such richness and in hope, and developing her skills and developing her children and her hope for them. Whereas in the wealthy nations, we're eliminating hope, or we're destroying social development, social skills, social EQ. We're really impairing a future civilization. So where is the hope, in the underdeveloped country or in the overdeveloped country?
I just want to comment on this as a documentary film. I thought it was very well done, a good range of experts with different viewpoints, presenting the social implications of excessive social media use. I really like the parts about the brain development and the cognitive development and development at different ages, and I thought it was very well put together. It just had me engaged the entire time, and again, lots to think about. Very well done.
It's a good film in terms of bringing it, you know, up for discussion.
Like I said, the future is going to tell what this film is, and I think that's what they're basically trying to say. And listen, I'm a parent of 2 children under 3. I'm sure there's a lot of parents out there. Sometimes it's survival mode, baby. And like, you got 2 kids. I'm trying to put, my wife's not is working. I'm trying to put 2 kids to bed who are under 3. Hey, my daughter's going to watch Paw Patrol for 15 minutes. Well, I put my son to bed because it's going to happen, because I can't handle it, right? So basically, so you know what I mean? Like, sometimes you're using technology to survive.